All right, finally, it looks like I'm gonna have some time here. I apologize that I haven't got this done sooner. My apologies, please accept them. I've been traveling between Idaho and Oregon. It's an 8-hour drive. My father, he hasn't been doing well. He's almost 89 years old. He's had several strokes, and I've been over there helping assist my sister, and so I didn't get a chance to do this. It's much easier for me here at my place in America to build this video for you because I've got pretty much my kitchen, the way I want it and everything's set up. So I got my California taco shirt on, one of my favorite shirts. But, okay, this is a chimichanga. There's a lot of things you can do in the way you do it. You are limited with ingredients, and you are limited where I'm not limited. I get anything I want. They have a whole aisle of Mexican food like you do, of sardines and the different types of fish that they sell in cans at your grocer. And so Hispanic Mexican food is like really huge and popular here in America. So these right here are my tortillas that you guys mix dough and roll out because they're next to impossible to buy. You can't buy them at S&R on a limited basis. And it's like, this is cheese. You can buy it at S&R on a limited basis. This is sharp cheddar cheese, really yummy. But you can't always get it, and S&R is so far away. So what I'm gonna do here is try to explain to you in detail. I got this oil on, it's very, very hot. And you don't want your oil to where it's at a flash point where it's gonna explode. You want it hot, but you don't want it bubbling to where the food's gonna cook like that fast. You want it to cook and brown, but you don't want to go too fast. You want to take your time with the cooking, but if it's not too hot, if it's not hot enough, then the oil just absorbs into the shell and it doesn't work well. So you'll see, I got it kind of at a perfect temperature. And how I find out is I'm gonna turn the water on. I got water on my finger. Oh, okay, see that? All right, that oil is just about perfect. I'm gonna find out on the first one. If it cooks too fast, then I gotta turn the oil down. So the chimichanga, it takes time, it takes effort, and it takes a little bit of practice to get it right, but you gotta be on top of it. You can't walk away. The person that's making it and cooking it has to stay right there on top of it or you will burn it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, now, a lot of the product I have, you don't have. I said that once, I'm emphasizing that. So I'm gonna try to explain what I'm doing. Right here, I have pinto beans. You have black beans. My pinto beans, they're refried beans, comes in a can. You can see the can. Rosarita, been using these my whole life. I'm gonna take a scoop of the beans in which I'm gonna go to the middle. Okay, I'm gonna keep everything in the middle. I might go a little bit more. So you're gonna put your black beans on the shell that you're gonna roll out and make. And you can see, I don't have a ton, I do have a little bit, and you could take your black beans and you can actually turn those into refried beans. We've been through that before. You can mash them up and turn them into refried beans, put some salt, pepper, and some garlic in there and make them really good. No problem doing that. Now, what I have here is, I took this seasoning, which you have your own taco seasoning. I put it in a wok right here, big wok. And I added to it, in this pack right here, I added about a half a cup, 3/4 cups of water, and I added about a half a cup of olive oil, or just regular oil will work fine too. Regular oil is cheaper. And I mixed that up with the powder, and then I cut up, this is chicken breast. I cut up chicken, bell peppers, red and green. You can do whatever you want. Onion. And I cut them pretty fine, as you can see, they're pretty fine. And I cooked all that together and I put a lid over it, steamed it. Took me about 15 minutes steaming it. I fried the chicken in the ingredients first, in the oil and the water first, chicken first. Put the vegetables in, put a lid on, let it steam. Pretty simple, no big deal, okay? Now what I'll do, and this will be in your product, basically you're going to take your chicken or your pulled pork. You can offer two different products. You just put your meat on there. You don't have to go to this trouble. This is just what I'm doing. My kids are coming for dinner tomorrow, so I'm making something a little more special. But you could just take your meat that you've already cooked in season and just put it on right here. But I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put that much on there right there. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put, of course you don't have cheese. I'm going to put just a little touch of cheese. Now I'm going to oversee everything, make sure I got everything. So I've got my beans. You're going to put your black beans. You're going to put your chicken or pulled pork. You can offer either or. And then you're going to put your rice. I forgot. I'm not doing Spanish rice right now. I just didn't feel like going to the trouble. Put your rice on there. It's a good filler and it's cheap to make and it tastes great. It really does taste good. Okay. Then the next thing I'm going to do is you can take your salsa. This here is kind of like your salsa, very similar. And I'm going to put a little bit of that inside, not a lot, just enough to give it a good flavor. Now, this is the part that's really important, is I'm going to roll this. Okay, I hope you can see me okay. I'm going to fold the ends over, and then I'm going to fold this like this. And I'm going to fold it and fold it, so you end up with this beautiful little chimichanga. The ends are closed. The ends have to be closed. And then when I put it in the frying pan, I'm going to put the tab, this tab right here, see the tab? That's going to be down. Okay, so it'll seal it. Now watch what I do. The oil's perfect. The oil, you can see how it's bubbling. It's not cooking too fast. It's not cooking too slow. But you got to stay here. Now while that's cooking, I'm going to make another one. So I'm going to do, I don't know, I'm going to do a few of these so you can get a feel for it. I'm going to keep the ingredients in the middle. Keep them in the middle. If you go out on the side, then you can't fold it. Does that make sense? You can't fold it. So, okay, you want to stay in the middle. And I'm not trying to talk like you don't get it. I'm trying to, just trying to be cool here and teach you this. I know you guys are smart and all that, so don't think I'm demeaning you, being demeaning or condescending, because I'm not. Okay, a little bit of cheese. Okay, now I better check this. Okay, I'm about to burn myself. Okay, see how that is browned? Can you see that? Okay, it's brown. That's what you want. I'm going to put a little bit of my salsa on that. So I could be doing this kind of multitasking. I could be doing this at the same time. Now there again, I'm going to fold this over, just like that. Fold that like that, and roll it tight. Okay, there it is. Now I'm going to flip this again because I don't like the way that went. I'm trying to keep that tab, trying to keep this tab underneath it. And I'm trying to keep it all radiused and round and good like that. I just flipped it back again. I'm going to flip it one more time. Okay, that time the tab kind of stayed and it looks good. I like the way it stayed. I'm going to flip it again. And if your frying pan's big enough, you can do it. See, there it goes. Perfect. See, the tab stayed down. I'll turn this around. You can see the tab has stayed down. It's perfect. Turned out primo. Okay, I'll put this plate here so you can admire how beautiful it turned out. Okay, so there's my chimichanga. There it is. Take the next one. I put the tab down. There again. Keep the tab down every time so it folds in. Now yours tortillas, the thinner the better. So you really got to roll them thin. About that big in diameter. This is about a 12-inch. It's a good diameter. Works really well. But see how thin that is, man. It's really hard for you to roll it out like that. But so while that's cooking, I'm going to make another one now. Remember, we put the beans on in the middle. Keep everything in the middle. Take your meat. Your chicken, your pork, whatever you choose. A little bit of cheese. Is that everything? I think it is. Okay, now I got to flip this. And when you flip it, be very careful. Just kind of roll it. Now that one's better. That one turned out even better yet. The seam is perfect. It's tight. And you don't want any ingredients leaking out. So that's why, I'll show you again. I'm going to do like 4 of these and show you 4 of them. That's why you take this and you fold the ends over. So you got the long way going like that. Fold the ends over and you go like that. So, and you could determine how big you want them by how much product you put in them. You don't have to put a ton of product in them, but you want to make sure that you're consistent. You don't want them that big and then that big. You want them consistent. So you might have a measuring for your chicken, your beans, your pork, whatever you're using, whichever meat. The other thing too is your salsa. You know, when you put that in there, remember to keep track of, you know, the things so you keep it consistent, the size and everything like that. Okay, this is gonna burn. I gotta flip it again. Oh, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna have a good dinner tonight. So there's the second one. This one turned out even better yet. The seam is just perfectly tight. But what I was saying is, do not, you see how tight that is? You do not want product to come out. You want it to stay inside. If it's coming out, you're not doing it right. One more I'm going to make for you. Oh, and you will be able to see on the 4th one, same thing. Keep everything right in the middle. Just right dead set in the middle. Don't go to the edge, go in the middle. Get your meats. If you guys want to put bell pepper in there, and you want to put, I'd recommend you do put onion in it. I recommend onion for sure. You could cut up tomato, put tomato in it. You know, you could make this how you like, but the meat, the black beans, the rice, tomato, bell pepper if you want, would be great. Don't put lettuce inside. I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, let's flip this again. Oh, this one's beautiful. Okay. A little bit. I'm sorry you don't have cheese. Don't even go down that road. I've been down that road many times about cheese and sour cream. It's just near impossible in the Philippines. It really is near impossible. Okay, fold it the sides in. Fold that over and roll it tight. We'll go ahead and throw that one in also. Let's check this one. I believe it's done. No, not quite yet. But you're pre-cooking your meat, you know, like you cook your meat in a pressure cooker or in the crock pot if it's your pork. Your meat's pre-cooked. Your beans are pre-cooked. Your rice is pre-cooked. Everything is pre-cooked. So basically what you're doing here is you're just browning the outside of it. Isn't that beautiful? Now look at the seam. You can see that seam right there. That is killer, man. That is like freaking awesome. That is the best. That's how you want it. That's how you want every one of them. I'm going to turn this up just a little bit. So remember, you don't want your heat too hot on your oil. Just right. Splash a little water in there. If it's crackling, it's pretty good. Now let's roll this over. And I always roll it against the seam like this so it doesn't open up. Okay, that one's good enough. That one's good. Oh, the heat. I don't know why, but when you put the food in, you know this, you guys. When you put the food in, it pulls the heat down because the heat goes into the food. So sometimes you might have to go a little hotter. Now, I only have about that much oil in the pan. You do not want that much oil. You do not want it deep fried. You want about that much oil in the pan. If you put too much, it's just going to be really hard to work with. If you have a bigger pan, you could do several of them at one time. You cook, you know, several of them at one time. You're going to have to do some experimenting. You're going to have to do some practice and work through the challenges and the issues. You might even take a paper like I did, all the menus and all the things. I'd strongly recommend you take a paper and you write down step 1, step 2, step 3, and that way anybody that works for California Taco will have a clear understanding of the procedure, just like the menus. Well, I turned this too hot. I can smell it. I can smell it's cooking too fast. You know, anybody that works at California Taco, you need to have standard operating procedures. I know you do, and I know you're working to do all those things, and that's great. So you have your procedure for your rice, you have your procedure for your pork, you have your procedure for your chicken, you have your procedure for your tacos and your burritos and your monster tacos and you have it all dialed in and figured out, this will be your next thing to dial in and figure out. Okay, so this one's done. So I just made 4 of these in a very short period of time. I'm going to turn the burner off because I'm done. Now, pull the camera out here. So you can see that's how they need to look, golden brown. The ends are all closed. You don't have any ingredients popping out. There's my oil. There's my meats. There's my taco seasoning that I cooked my meat in. You're already doing all that. Oh, I forgot to put this in the last couple of them. It's okay. That's my salsa. Now, I'm going to do something here. Let me see if I can reset this back up. Okay, now this part is very important. This part, I want you to pay really good attention to. Now, if I'm going to serve this to my customer, and I want my customer to be impressed, okay? I want them to feel like, wow, I'm really getting my money's worth. I'm really getting something here. You're gonna get whatever platter you choose. You guys do a great job with your platters and your serving techniques and that. You do a really good job. I'm proud of that. That's really important. So I'm going to change the camera. I'm going to get really close up here so you can see what I'm doing. Now I'm going to put these back here. I'm going to move these over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to garnish this. Okay, you don't see me now, but I'm going to garnish this. I'm going to put that right there. Let's say you have a customer that ordered 2 of these. Okay. Now, let me turn that a little bit. So, what I will do is I will take, you have your homemade salsa that you make. I'm going to take a little bit of homemade salsa, not a lot. I'm going to put it on top. And I'm going to go like that. Then I'm going to take real fine cut onion. I'm going to go like this. Then I'm going to take some fine cut tomato. And I'm just going to kind of drop it on. It may not stay on, but it's on the plate. They see it. They know we're trying. And then I'm going to put a little bit of lettuce on top of that. You know, if it's on the plate, it's okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay? Then I'll show you what it looks like. So there it is. A very great meal. And I call that a chimichanga. It's actually one of my favorite things that I like to eat in the Mexican restaurants. And I just really enjoy it and the way that they make them there. In every Mexican restaurant you go to, it's interesting. Every one of them is different. You go to 100 different Mexican restaurants and I will promise and guarantee you everything about what they do is going to be a different technique according to the chef, owners, and those that are preparing and making the recipes. So there is no set format. There is no right way and there is no wrong way. But what I just showed you is a really darn good tasting chimichanga that you should be able to sell very well. Takes a little more effort than a taco or a burrito, but it's not that big a deal. So that's how it's done. Here's my lettuce, my tomato, my onion, and my meat, my cheese, my salsa, my beans. It's all the ingredients. But see, that's kind of basic and plain, pretty ugly looking, you know. But that's pretty cool looking. Now you can also put a garnish on your other food, your other burritos and various foods that you do that are rolled up. You can put a garnish on top of those too. All right. Good luck to you guys. The signboard you made looks incredible. Wish I was there to help and support you, but I can't be there at this time. So I'll talk to you later. Good luck. Thanks for your hard work and your hard efforts.